Through this programme, I've been allowed to see the bigger picture. So your work in school, the training, the rest and the play as well.
We're all kind of a family and we help support each other. I'd like to beat my coach in a race.
I think we've seen improvements and real impact from the work that the Physical Education Department team have done, but over a very long period. And I think that's a really important point, that it's not something that's happened very quickly. It's something we've been working on now for many years. It was the culture that they set up with young people. It's about listening to young people and about seeing how young people respond when they're given more and more responsibility for their own learning. And what we've seen is they've had a real impact on the way young people feel about coming into school each day, and how students perform in the classroom and of course outside the classroom as well. We've also had a very special programme where we focused on certain individuals, our sporting students who have shown great potential or are already performing at the highest level. And what we found with that was that the whole student body took those students on board and supported them. And I think that comes from the culture of the PE department again, because that culture is let's celebrate. Every opportunity possible, let's celebrate success at whatever level that success is.
Identifying the more able for us starts way before the actual transition of the students coming into Key Stage 3. We work really closely with our Key Stage 2 and 1 teachers within the primary school setting, looking at their assessment and their assessment data before they make the physical transition up into King Alfred's Academy.
I am working with the primary school teachers, myself and various Key Stage 3 and 4 specialists, so that they are able to recognise the most able within their classes. We're doing this by encouraging robust assessment. We're also not just looking at those that are physically most able, but those that show great leadership, that are creative, those great thinkers, encouraging Key Stage 1 and 2 teachers to celebrate those children as well.
My previous existence, I taught PE for 17 years, and I was very fortunate to be the PE teacher that discovered and introduced athletics to Mo Farah. I know that schools have developed programmes that really work for their school and systems that support the children in their school to be the very best that they can be. A classic example of that is King Alfred's in Oxfordshire.
I'm part of the King Alfred's CAPT programme, and it stands for King Alfred's Talented Sports People. The programme has been fantastic at supporting me through the academy, giving me extra opportunities, giving me extended time and supporting me through my sporting career.
That system exists and that support exists, support families of children that don't necessarily understand what their children are capable of or what they're doing or the pressures that are on them. Supporting them to do that is going to bring the best out of them, not just educationally, but the best out of them as a person, as well as the best out of them as a sports person.
As a CAPS member, we get considered like a sporting role model for the school. I took dance at GCSE. Now this is obviously a boy minority sport, but it meant that I could stand up for the lads, I suppose, in sports that they wouldn't normally want to go for, but I can show them that actually, yes, you can.
So we support students into the school games level 1 by first of all identifying that they have a talent. Now that might be a talent within the physical aspect, but it also might be through leadership or the social part. So we then guide them into, for us for level 1, it's our house competitions. So they might have a role as a competitor, say in house trampolining. They might actually be a reporter or a leader for those competitions. So we look to involve as many people within those activities as we can.
The school games is a great target and a focus for the more gifted and talented children. They might do extremely well in an intra-school competition on a local level. They might be head and shoulders above everybody else. They get really found out when it starts to get to county level in terms of how good are they. They have to have the depth of character and strength of understanding that they need to do something different, or they need to do something more.
We prepared students for intro through an incredible elective programme. Pushing them on further, we're able to run individual training sessions along with recreational sessions to really focus on those students that are hopefully going to represent us in the level 3 school games, so we work hard with those students.
We're supporting these children by assessing them in a variety of different ways. So we're encouraging self-assessment, peer assessment, we're supporting the teachers with teacher assessment. With the use of the iPads through ICT, the children can self-evaluate more, they can support each other in their peer evaluation.
Today we've been doing trampolining and we've been using our iPads to film the people on the trampolines so that they can see more clearly what they need to do to improve to get a higher grade. My coach also does this quite a lot.
Assessment of our students is an ongoing process. We assess the students every 8 lessons. Now, in order to make that assessment worthwhile and beneficial to the student and to the staff in their planning and preparation for the lesson, a great deal of moderation takes place in order to make that data valid. So as a department, we will spend regular CT sessions, curriculum team sessions, looking at each other's assessment.
Through the extended learning programme, we as athletes feel like we can actually go on to achieve our goals. Particularly as everyone gets together and you see that everyone's got the same drive as you get that extra motivation. When you've got that support from the teachers who interact with the coaches and the NGBs, you then actually really do feel like, I can do this, this is what I want to do, and suddenly it starts to become a bit more of a reality that you can go that far.
Our main aim is not merely focusing on physical performance. I think we have a responsibility to shape individuals as a whole through leadership skills, through creativity skills, through improving their knowledge of health and fitness. And students leave us with a balance of physical performance, health, creativity, teamwork, and all these social skills that are going to prepare them for later in their education and onwards for later life.
We don't just focus on the development of their sport, it's about how do we make them great young people, great role models, and as they go on into life, why and how are we going to make them really successful people within our communities so they are future leaders.